I'm standing by the window of my small apartment in the city, the cold November wind dragging itself across glass and concrete when he bursts in. His face is pale, like one of those old black and white photos you find tucked between pages of a dusty book, the kind you don't want to look at but somehow can't stop glancing toward. It's him, my mentor, the person I once thought of as a quiet neighbor and now realize is something far more. Dr. Julian Ashford, my eccentric, hyper-competent mentor figure. He throws a manila envelope onto the kitchen table and says only one line: "Don't answer your phone after 3 p.m. The words hit me like a fist. Immediately, my heart begins its fast, mechanical drumbeat in my chest. Why him? Why now? I take a step back, instinctively reaching for the edge of the table, palms pressing into the wood grain, grounding me. The wind burrows between the window frame and the glass, making the pane shiver softly. Outside, the lights of traffic blur in a stream of yellow, but inside this room, everything goes silent. I try to think. I'm Maya Clark, 32 years old, a software coder at a mid-level firm in downtown. I live, and have always lived, by logic, by routines. I wake at 6:45 a.m., coffee at 7, bus at 7:45, code by 8:30, lunch at 12:30, gym at 6:15, home at 8. Friday nights, I order Thai food and watch a stand-up special. Safe, predictable, and frankly, boring. But it works. I trust the schedule, the algorithm of my life. I trust the world to stay the same. And yet, here is Julian, altering that world within a single breath. His voice is calm but urgent. The envelope slides across the table as if drawn by gravity and destiny. I stare at it. My brain wants to override the moment with rationality. Why not just ignore him? Maybe he's overreacting. But deeper, quietly beneath, I feel a tremor, a whisper of dread that maybe he's right. He says, "Whatever you do, don't answer your phone after 3 p.m. today." And right then I know this is the disruption. My routine will shatter, my logic will falter, and I'm going to choose whether to trust that instinct or push it aside. I squeeze my fingers around the edge of the table, feeling the varnish under my nails, as if that sensation could ground me. But the warning hangs in the air, heavier than the cold concrete outside. I look up. Julian's eyes are darkened rings around calm orbits. He doesn't blink. He says, "You didn't hear it from me, but you'll thank me if you don't pick up that phone." Then he turns and leaves, shutting the door softly behind him. The wind rushes back in, and for one long moment, the world is still. And then the ordinary world cracks. My mind races. I stare at the envelope. I look at the clock, 1:42 p.m., 2 hours and 18 minutes until 3 p.m. I know what I should do: follow my schedule, ignore the warning, keep everything normal. But cunningly, another part of me says, this isn't normal. I recall my father, Dr. Stephen Clark, a man I believe to be an insurance salesman. He died 2 years ago, supposedly of a stroke in his sleep. Official cause? Stroke. Easy, clean, final. But I'd never seen the hospital records, never asked for the autopsy. At the time, I assumed trust. We cried, we grieved, we moved on. Yet in the months just before his death, I remembered odd things. My father saying, "It's almost time," in a whisper. The broken glass of his study window. A locked cabinet I wasn't allowed to enter. And then silence. Now I recognize those shadows of memory as part of a pattern. Over the past 3 weeks, I've sensed someone in my hallway while I was at work. A black sedan parked across the street for hours. Strange emails from unknown addresses referencing asset CL13. My bank app reporting a login from Macau at 3:17 a.m. I dismissed it, probably a glitch. I trusted routine. But now, after Julian's warning, I see they weren't glitches. They were threads being pulled. I take a deep breath, feeling the stale air in my lungs. My fingertips are slightly damp from the coffee I drank earlier. The fridge hums quietly behind me. This apartment, my fortress of logic, is suddenly bathed in suspicion. I realize I have a decision to make. If I ignore the warning, I stay within the safe zone of my old life. If I heed it, everything could unravel. I close my laptop, an action that feels brusque in its finality. I pack a small bag, charger, ID, a spare shirt, a digital recorder, just in case. I glance out the window. The sedan is gone. But then the upstairs light flickers. My pulse spikes. "Okay," I whisper. "You're doing it." I grab the envelope. I step into the elevator. The door closes behind me with a metallic click that echoes louder than expected. This is the turning point. I'm no longer just a cog in the predictable machine. I'm becoming something else, something awake. The phone rings at 3:02 p.m., exactly 2 minutes after I promised myself I wouldn't answer. I hesitate, my thumb hovering. My heart hammers. Sweat beads at the nape of my neck. Should I pick up or hold off? I stare at the display. Federal Security, 303. My logic screams. Maybe it's Julian, or maybe it's them. But then the voice comes through. "Miss Clark," the voice says, flat, professional. "This is Agent Marlowe with the Division of Corporate Threat Assessment. We have intel showing you were present at the site of a major workplace attack at Ypsilon Tech this afternoon. You are considered a person of interest. Please remain where you are for pickup." I freeze, my vision tunnels. Ypsilon Tech, my employer's rival company across town. I didn't go there. I'm at home. At 3 p.m., I was in the elevator. I check my watch. 3:03. The voice continues. "Security footage shows you entering the facility through the south entrance at 2:59 p.m. Your ID badge was used to swipe the door. We'll be there soon." My stomach drops. I try to respond. No, I wasn't there." But the line ends. Silence. My ears ring. I drop the phone to the couch. My body jolts. The floor cushions my fall. My lungs gulp air in short gasps. They've framed me. The sentinel of my ordinary world collapses. Then the doorbell rings. Fast. 9 loud knocks. I scoop up the envelope. I push the coffee table aside. I open a small back door into the fire escape. Julian is standing there, coat collar high, breathing the cold night air. He motions urgently. "Inside, now." He pulls me out before I can object. I feel the icy metal of the door handle beneath my fingers, cold as betrayal. He drags me down the fire escape stairs. The siren wail begins in the distance. Shouts, searchlight scanning. I tuck the envelope into my coat. I don't look back. I only feel the cold wind slashing at my cheeks, the concrete beneath my boots, the pounding of helicopters overhead. Julian turns to me, voice quiet but fierce. "They're not the police. They're the weapon. You're their scapegoat. I warned you for a reason." He steps between me and a street lamp. His eyes flash. "If you want to know the truth I was about to reveal, subscribe now and comment where you're watching from. Because the conspiracy wasn't just about framing me. It was about what was hidden inside me." My mind reels. I swallow hard. And the world as I knew it is gone. We reach a nondescript warehouse 2 blocks away. Julian punches in a code. The door hisses open. Inside is dim, cold, industrial. Metal crates, cables, a single hanging bulb. I shiver. This isn't a safe house. It's a hideout. Julian hands me a travel mug with something warm inside. I take a sip. It tastes of black coffee and sharp resolve. He begins. Your father wasn't an insurance salesman. He was a research analyst for Project Helix. He waits. I blink. Project Helix, the name that had appeared in those strange emails I ignored. He continues. It was a covert biogenetics program. The aim? Identify and weaponize people with regenerative blood and immune gene anomalies. People who couldn't be controlled by disease or standard pharmaceuticals. My skin prickles. That's me. I've always been healthy, never even a cold in the past 5 years. I thought it was luck. I thought it was routine. He steps aside and opens a sleek briefcase. Inside is a small metallic drive, the MacGuffin. This, he says, holding it reverently, was hidden by your father, encrypted. In this drive is all the evidence, his research, the list of subjects, every name they hunted, and your name at the top. My mouth goes dry, my pulse throbs. Why didn't he tell me? I feel anger and grief merge. Julian sees it. He softens. He tried, but they got to him first. I remember the day I got the call. Your father died of a stroke. He looked peaceful in the hospital photograph, but now I understand the truth. He was silenced because he knew too much. Julian presses a tablet. On the screen, my father in a lab coat, late night, shutting down servers. Security cameras, chemical vials, graphs showing subject CL13, Maya Clark, and a tagging, immune. My body clamps shut like I'm in icy water. I gasp. I'm not normal? No, Julian says. You're the centerpiece. They used your identity to erase the real you. The attack at Upsilon Tech, the frame-up, they engineered that. I rock back as if shoved. I feel dizziness, nausea, betrayal. My hands clench the edge of a crate. The metal bites into my palms. I inhale. The texture of betrayal tastes metallic. He hands me the drive. You need to leak this. You need to become the truth's amplifier. They expected you to panic, comply, or disappear. You can choose. Expose them or let them bury you. My knees tremble. I look at Julian, then at the drive. My father's ghost whispers, "Find the file. Tell the world." I nod. Fear ricochets through me. But beneath it, something rises. Resolve. We leave the warehouse before midnight. Outside, the air is colder now, sharper, like the edge of a blade. I clutch the drive in my coat pocket. My fingers feel the small click of the connector. Tangible, real. Julian leads us to an old service van parked in shadow. The engine hums. We slide in. The doors shut with a hollow thud. Helicopter blades spin above. Searchlights sweep the streets. The van moves. I press my back to the seat, the vinyl cold beneath me. My heartbeat echoes in my ears. They know where I was. They'll know where I am. Julian says, "We're going to the archived bunker. You'll be safe in terms of location, not safe in terms of status, but safe enough to broadcast." The van turns off main roads. Gravel crunches beneath tires. My mind marches through the facts. The attack, the framing, my father's secret, Project Helix. My own immune system like a fault in their program. Identity erased, replaced. My body is both evidence and threat. I feel the drive pressed into my hip pocket. The weight of the world is in my pants. We arrive. A steel vault door. Julian enters the code. The door opens with a pneumatic hiss. Inside, monitors, satellite uplink, a camera, the perfect leak station. I set the drive down. I watch the LED lights blink green. My fingers hover over the keyboard. My chest constricts. I press play. The video starts. My father appears, his eyes soft but determined. He says, "Maya, if you're seeing this, they found me. I need you to remember 3 things. 1, you are the anomaly. 2, you must choose the truth. 3, I love you." His voice cracks. I taste salt in my throat. The camera catches something behind him, a logo I recognize from the emails. I feel rage, grief, clarity. He continues, "The world will make you their scapegoat. They will try to erase you, but within you is survival they can't engineer. Use it. Become their mirror." I press stop, my throat tight. The drive hums softly. Julian stands behind me. "You ready?" he asks. I look at the monitors, the upload software waiting, the world outside oblivious. My decision stands between 2 paths. Path 1, surrender. Hand them over, sink into obscurity. Myself erased. Path 2, revelation. Expose Project Helix. Make myself wanted. Make myself potent. I swallow. My mind leaps ahead. Headlines, cameras, debt, danger. My stomach revolts. Fear presses against my ribs like a fist. But the memory of my father, of being told it's almost time, of the black sedan in front of my home, of email logins at 3:17 a.m., they converge into a single truth. I choose revelation. I hit upload. The screen pulses. Files transfer. At 3 minutes, I feel a click. Done. A new window. Broadcasting. I lean back. The sirens outside are closer now. The world is shifting. I lean into the hum of the machine. The drive's weight is gone from my pocket, replaced by purpose. Julian places a hand on my shoulder. "They'll chase you," he says, "but you're not running anymore. You're starting something." I nod. The vault door closes behind us. We step into the night. The van engine roars. Headlights sweep. And I feel alive, not because I'm safe, but because I'm dangerous. The next morning, the world is changed. My phone explodes with alerts. News anchors mention a whistleblower leak from Project Helix. My face flashes on some feed, grainy but unmistakable. I sip weak tea in a safe house kitchen. The hum of the refrigerator seems loud. Julian sits across from me, eyes tired but aware. He says, "The global networks have it now. The evidence is out. They're scrambling to bury it. But you gave them something they can't delete. Your face, your voice, your story." I glance at the screen. They show my father's video. Headlines like, "Immune gene subject exposed." People comment. Fear, curiosity, rage. I lean back. My heart pounds. The safe house walls feel thin. They will come. I feel the weight of what I've done. Not just the leaked files, but stepping into this role. The role of rebel, whistleblower, hunted. I'm trying to drink tea, but I taste bitterness. I remember my old life, coding bugs, coffee breaks, gym, Thai food on Friday nights. That girl is gone. I mourn her, and I welcome this new one. Julian sets a folder in front of me. Maps, encrypted communications, safe outbound routes, identities. One name stands out. Clark, Maya, subject ID CL13. My subject number. I close the folder fast. My hands shake. The reality of being an anomaly, a weapon, a target, crashes in. But I also feel the surge. I have proof. I have voice. I have momentum. I lean into it. What now? I ask. Julian smiles faintly. Now we build the narrative. We show the world. We don't just leak data, we tell why it matters. I nod. I reach for the mug again. The tea is cold. I leave it. I stand. Time to move. They hit hard. By day 3, the media mentions a workplace attack at Upsilon Tech, now believed orchestrated by a rogue operative. Law enforcement agencies are on alert. Posters of wanted Maya Clark appear online. My bank account's flagged, my credit card canceled. The black sedan is back, parked outside where Julian once lived. My safe house is compromised. We pack. We run. I feel exhaustion in every muscle. The van's suspension squeaks. The tires hum across back roads. I press my palm on the glass, watching darkness slide past. Where to next? I don't know. Julian says, "We transfer you to a network of allies, people who want the truth." I nod, trust with urgency. Inside the van, I look at the drive, a residue of memory. Father's face, the lab, the curve of his lips as he whispered he loved me. I close my eyes. I need to draw power from grief, not collapse into it. My fingers trace the edge of the envelope Julian gave me earlier. It contains safe house addresses, aliases, escape routes. I feel the paper's grain. I feel a tear sting. I wipe it away. We're not safe, but we're moving. A text pings on Julian's secure phone. Compromised, extraction point delayed. He curses. The driver slams the brakes. I lurch forward. My teeth clack together. The van spins. Gravel sprays. The black sedan appears in the mirror, headlights cracking the night. I grip the seat. The chase begins. We dart into hidden service tunnels under the city. Concrete walls sweat. My shoes echo on the floor. My chest burns. The van rattles. I taste adrenaline. Julian says, "Hold on." I close my eyes. I imagine Father's voice. "Use it." I focus. We burst onto a deserted dock. The van stops. We jump out. The sedan screeches to a halt behind. Doors open. Men in dark uniforms advance. Julian yanks me up a ladder into a container ship. The door slams. Exhaust fumes fill the air. We're alive. Inside the container, dim light filters through rusted grates. The smell of salt and oil. I lean against the wall, breathing heavy. The drive is in Julian's hand now. I look at him, then at the world I left behind. Maya Clark, software coder, reliable, predictable. And now, Maya Clark, immune gene anomaly, whistleblower, fugitive. I feel conflicting emotions. I killed the old life. Even though it wasn't violent, the old life ended. I feel grief for the father I lost and the daughter I was. I feel fear of the woman I'm becoming. I feel outrage at the conspiracy that framed me and guilt that I dragged an innocent neighbor into this. Julian leans against the wall next to me. He says, "You're the nexus. The system fears you because you break its template. They framed you to discredit you. We used them to expose you. I stare at him. Am I part of the conspiracy then, because my father was involved? I ask. He nods. Indirectly. He infiltrated it from within. He saw you were unique. They saw you as the containment failure. They tried to kill the vault of truth and the daughter. You survived. I close my eyes. The metallic sting of betrayal surfaces. My father lied to me, not because he didn't care, but because he had to protect me. He buried the truth deep. I exhale. What about the people I know? The coworkers, the normal life? Do they even exist for me anymore? Julian's voice softens. For now, no. We rebuild with new allies, new purpose. I nod, though small. My body aches. My heart aches more. But the humility of truth grounds me. I realize I am no longer just living for myself. I'm living for the Father, for the anomaly, for the future. We surface in a remote safe house in the mountains. Snow falls thin and silent. I breathe the cold air. It burns my lungs, but I welcome it. Julian introduces me to a small team. Elena Ruiz, former intelligence operative. Dr. Samuel Pierce, a geneticist turned whistleblower. Marcus Lee, hacker extraordinary. They greet me with nods, respect, wariness, hope. Elena is tall, athletic, with a scar across her cheek. She doesn't smile often, but when she does, it's brief and sharp. Samuel moves slowly, hands stained with notes and reference markers. Marcus flickers between screens and wires, caffeine odor in his wake. They show me a wall full of data, names, connections, media leaks, financial flows. They show me how widespread Project Helix's network is, not just a single program, but a global operation involving biotech firms, governmental agencies, insurance companies. I lean into the table. The keyboard under my fingers is warm. My mind now functions differently. I grasp patterns, I code, I connect. I feel a surge. This is strategy. We're not just reacting, we're going on the offensive. I feel alive, I feel purpose. But I also feel responsibility. If we fail, thousands of others like me, like my father, will be buried. I look at their faces. They nod. We're together in this. We go live with a portion of the data. The world reacts. Headlines flash. Immune gene subject leaks top secret biotech project. Meanwhile, our monitors light up with alerts. Overseas servers shutting down, data centers going dark, cloak and dagger movements among corporate hierarchies. Project Helix is hitting back. I wake in the middle of the night to the sound of glass breaking. I'm in bed, safe house, deep off-grid. Yet I hear footsteps overhead. My neck prickles with fear. I grip my shirt, pull myself upright. Elena moves silently to the window. I press against the wall. They found us. The footsteps stop. On the monitor, I see a silhouette. They move away. The alarm light glows red. Marcus yells, "We've been detected. Time to go." We pack again. I feel my heart in my throat. The safe house empties. Snow crunches under boots. The van revs. We depart. I glance back once. Footprints in the snow. Marks of intrusion. We're not safe. The threat escalates. I breathe hard, air freezing behind my lips. I clutch the drive again, though we already uploaded part of it. I feel both fierce and fragile. The world we uprooted is responding with force. I receive a message, encrypted. Meet at old family estate. It's from my mother, estranged for years, my father's widow. My body freezes. I say nothing. Julian halts the van. We sit in the dark. I face her once. Back in the living room of my childhood home, high ceilings, tall windows, mahogany furniture. I hadn't been home since the funeral. My mother opens a drawer and pulls out a photograph. My father, younger, in a lab, holding a vial labeled CL13. She says, "He told me the moment would come when you would be needed." My heart thumps. The family betrayal becomes clear. My father included her, but not me. She stepped aside. She watched me be framed. She now watches me fight. I feel anger strike. Why didn't you protect me? She meets my gaze, eyes tired. I tried, she whispers. They had access. They threatened me, but he insisted you be hidden. I feel sorrow for her, for his secret life, for the daughter kept in the dark. Yet I also feel the sting of abandonment. She gives me a locket. Inside, a photo of father and me, smiling. She says, "I will help you now." I hold the cold metal. My fingers trace the photo. I feel connection and distance both. The foundation of my family was built on lies, but now I rebuild it on truth. I stand. "Thank you," I whisper. The world outside is changing, and so am I. We schedule the full leak. At 11 p.m. UTC, we upload to secure servers and release to every major network. I watch on my tablet as the thread goes viral. Tweets, live streams, interviews. They show my father's research, the list of subjects, the names of high-level corporate figureheads. They show me, Maya Clark, as the anomaly, as the hero, as the hunted. My pulse races. My face is illuminated by the screen. I feel the cold glow on my cheeks. Comments pour in. Who is she? This is terrifying. Biotech warfare? Immune gene subject? The world is asking questions. I lean back. My body sinks into the chair. The weight of this movement presses on me. I remember 14-year-old me in the school computer lab learning code. I never imagined this, never imagined being televised as a traitor or a savior. Julian stands by the window, watching satellite news tickers. "This is it," he says softly. Outside the safe house, sirens sound faintly. The world is responding. The conspirators are mobilizing. The networks are scrambling. I press my thumb on the screen. I post a short message. "I am Maya Clark. I was framed. Here is the evidence. The truth is yours." I hit send. A final click. It's done. At dawn, heavy rain slashes against the metal roof. We hear a helicopter overhead, a missile of sound. Doors slam outside. I rush to the window. Masked agents, corporate logos, guns. They're here. The safe house is compromised. Julian yanks me toward a hidden trapdoor under the staircase. We descend. My thighs burn. I feel every drop of cold marrow. We arrive in subterranean tunnels. The walls are damp. My boots splash in puddles. I clutch the drive. Though its content is out there, the physical key remains. Jolts of phosphor light at intervals. We keep moving. Behind us, boots, shouts, a floodlight chasing shadows. We round a corner. I fall. My hand scrapes the concrete. Pain stabs. I bite my lip. No time to bleed. Julian pulls me up. We split here. He hands me a small memory stick. "Take this. Uploaded globally. That's the kill shot." I nod, tears stinging the rain of fear in my eyes. I sprint. My body reacts only. Lungs burning, muscles screaming, adrenaline like acid in my veins. The sirens close. I reach the exit of the tunnel, a narrow alley. Rain floods the ground. I press myself into a door. and enter a telecommunications room. Screens flicker. I plug in the stick. The upload begins. My fingers tremble. I hear boots on the other side of the door. I hit enter. The upload completes. I lean back. The door bursts, and I stand, drenched, defiant. I step outside. Dawn is emerging. Water glistens on asphalt. I smell petrol, rain, and fear. My phone buzzes. Messages of support, death threats, demands. I read one. We know where you are. My breath catches. I look around. No vehicles near, but I know they can come. I close the app. I'm bare. No job, no home, no going back. I'm hunted. I feel grief for everything I lose. My career, my friends, my anonymity. I feel rage at what was stolen, my identity, my father, my normal life. And I feel determination for what I gain, truth, purpose, power. I stand at the curb, rain dripping from my coat. I allow myself to mourn. I allow myself to shiver. But I pull my shoulders back. I breathe in the cold until it becomes steel inside me. Julian appears beside me. Ready? I grip the drive inside my coat. I nod. Let's go. We vanish into the city. The sirens fade behind us, but I know they'll return. I don't look back. I look ahead. Weeks later, I'm on the move. Alias activated. New identity, new base. I monitor leaks, build networks. The world knows my name now. Maya Clark, the anomaly, the whistleblower. I still code, but now I code for dissidents, for truth seekers. I still breathe coffee and late nights, but now the coffee tastes of victory, the nights full of strategy. I meet people whose lives were touched by Project Helix, survivors, victims, families. Their eyes haunted. I hold their hands. I feel responsibility. They didn't ask for this, but they're part of it. I share resources, build alliances, plan exposure, follow trails of money. My father's legacy has become our roadmap. I carry the drive's data in encrypted pockets. I carry his words in my heart. You are the anomaly. Use it. I wake at 5:30 a.m. now. I'm in a foreign city, rain outside the window. But my routine is still structured because I need structure, because even rebels need discipline. I code until noon, then strategy until late. My body remembers the gym years. I run, I train, because strength isn't just mental. I feel the cold metal of dumbbells, the burn in my thighs, my heart pounding. I am preparing for war. One night I lie awake. The city hums below. I stare at the ceiling. Am I becoming the thing I once feared? I used to think power corrupts. I used to think survival meant compliance. Now I realize surviving means standing. Standing means risk. Risk means loss. I feel tears well. I allow them. I sense that I'm no longer the daughter who needed saving. I'm the architect of something bigger. I remember my father's laugh, quiet, brief, when I coded as a teenager. I remember how he never told me the full truth. I remember how I loved him anyway. I remember how I wanted to be safe. And I now remember how safety was never the point. Purpose was. The tunnel I ran through, the chase I faced, they're part of it. I embrace them. I inhale deeply. My chest expands. I exhale. The night air tastes of rain and promise. I whisper, I choose the revelation. I feel the drive in my pocket. I feel the lives at stake. I feel the world watching. I feel the fear, and I feel the courage. I'm not perfect. I'm not invulnerable, but I am a vector, a living signal in the network of lies, and that is enough. When the upload reached critical mass, the network of truth seekers formed. I wasn't just Maya Clark anymore. I became CL13, a symbol, a name whispered in forums, a ghost in corporate boardrooms, and a nightmare to the conspirators. I trained, I coded, I networked, I infiltrated, I built, I launched, I defended, I risked. My body changed, my mind sharpened, my heart hardened, but not to cruelty. It hardened to resolve. I live in shadows now, but not in fear. The city's neon glows outside my window. I press my palm to the glass. I feel vibration from traffic. I remember the old bus at 7:45. I smile. I wouldn't trade this life for it, because this life is mine, my life. I sit at my laptop. Lines of code reflect in my eyes. I will not stop. I will not escape. I will fight. I remember Father's final message. I remember his love. I remember his sacrifice. He didn't just leave me data. He left me direction. I honor it with every line of script, every broadcast, every contact. I feel his legacy within me, not as a burden, but as a pulse. I am living what he dreamed. I stand at a rooftop edge, wind tearing my coat. Below, the city sprawling. The sirens are distant. The risk is real. But so is the truth. I hold the MacGuffin drive, not just as evidence, but as torch. I look into the lens of the camera we set up for the world. I say, my name is Maya Clark. I was framed. My identity was stolen. My father was murdered. I discovered I am the weapon they tried to create and the voice they tried to silence. But I chose to leak the truth. I chose to fight. And now I ask you, stand with the truth, spread the evidence, join the network, because this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of the war for truth. I lean closer, my breath visible in the cold. I pause. I place the drive on a metal surface. I grip it, then release. It sits there, small but potent. I step back. The wind howls. I turn away. The camera stays fixed. The sirens close. But I am ready. If you believe one person's choice can expose a world of lies, subscribe right now, because this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of the war for the truth. I lean closer, my breath visible in the cold. I pause. I place the drive on a metal surface. I grip it, then release. It sits there, small but potent. I step back. The wind howls. I turn away. The camera stays fixed. The sirens close. But I am ready. If you believe one person's choice can expose a world of lies, subscribe right now, because this isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of the war for the truth.